Yo, what's up, everybody? So I saw for a few weeks now, it was saying the main event was in jeopardy at UFC 303, which is going to be Michael Chandler taking on the notorious cokehead Conor McGregor. Now, Chandler sat out for over 2 years for this fight. Really waited and waited and waited. They finally announced it. Last week, McGregor pulled out of a press conference, which was in Ireland and had 10,000 fans. Now, I think it's weird, but a lot of American fans just flew over to Ireland to watch it, and then there's a lot of Irish people who actually bought tickets for the fight, which is going to be in Vegas here at the end of the month. So it's the largest gate ever when they announced the fight. 20 million plus for the gate. People are paying like 10, 20 grand for floor seats. Like even crap seats are going for like $4,000. It was just insane. It was a Conor McGregor effect. Now, what the UFC usually does is always puts a crappy card behind Conor because Conor's name is so big he can just sell out no matter what. So there was one other good fight on this card before when it was still UFC 303 before this entire thing fell apart. The other good fight was actually Ian Gary taking on MVP. That's going to be a fun fight, which we'll talk about later on. But that was a good fight. Jamal Hill was going to fight Khalil Roundtree, but Roundtree got hurt, so that fight fell through. And then McGregor-Chandler was going to be kind of the main event that everyone wanted to see. So Conor McGregor pulled out. Is it an injury or is he just a cokehead? I honestly think he's just like a giant druggie, in my opinion. The dude wants the notoriety and the fame and the love from fighting, but he doesn't want to be sober enough for it. Like, he's constantly drinking, he's constantly doing coke, he's constantly partying. So you can enjoy that party lifestyle, but you can't be a professional athlete at the same time. Like, this dude's just doing the exact opposite of what Michael Chandler does. If you look at that guy's Instagram, it is cringe how he pulls his shorts up like he's a fitness chick who is on Anavar. But yeah, Chandler pulls his shorts up, does his little deadlifts, does bench press way too quick, does super quick things, which is kind of just for the Instagram views. But if you look at him, the dude's in shape, and the dude is definitely very lean, which one thing you're not going to get by being... One way to be lean is you can't cut out all beer. Beer is horrible for you if you're trying to cut like that. So the easiest way I can say this is every 3,000 calories is a pound on your body. Now, say you go out and drink 10 light beers a night, that's 1,000 calories. You do that 3 times a week, that's an extra pound a week you're gonna gain. So McGregor's Irish stout stuff is like pure stout. That stuff's not 100 calories per glass. It's probably 200 to 400 calories per glass. So he's gonna have a harder time staying lean. He's going to be very dehydrated, and then he's drinking liquor on top of that too. Like I said, you can get away with drinking light beer and working out. It's just once you kind of want to cut, you're going to have to cut out most of the beer because that's where the fat comes from, is from the alcohol. But if you're drinking light beer 5 days a week, you're going to be fatter, but you can get away with that because you'll still perform in the gym. When you're drinking liquor, dude, those hangovers, you're not going to be able to work out the same. I'm not doing MMA, but just from lifting weights and doing bodybuilding for like 10, 11 years, like you're not going to perform the same. I never touched liquor. Light beer is okay, but like I said, when you're in the cutting phase, you want to cut it out. But liquor, just the hangovers are horrid for you. You're ruining that night's sleep, and then you're ruining your next day's workout as well, which Conor McGregor just keeps doing. So, like I said, I think he wanted the notoriety from the fighting, but he doesn't want to put the work in anymore. Not the work in the gym, he'll put the work in, but outside the gym, the healthy lifestyle, the healthy eating, the no drinking, he doesn't want to do that, and Michael Chandler does. So I kind of feel for Chandler. I think they pushed the fight back. I don't know if they announced a new date yet, but they're going to try for August or September. So I could see that fight getting canceled again. I really don't see Conor McGregor ever fighting in the UFC again. No one ever really cared to watch him fight after this. The shitty thing was, dude, like, they had that press conference. Those people flew out there. It got canceled. If McGregor knew 2 weeks ago he wasn't fighting, he should have said something by now, because people are buying tickets, they're getting hotel rooms, all this shit. They're going to be spending 20 grand to watch a fight that isn't happening now. What I would personally do, I didn't buy tickets, but say you're flying in from like Ireland or something, the UFC, if you bought tickets through them, they have to give you a refund. What I would honestly do, have a fun little vacation in Vegas and then just watch the fights at a bar or something. Refund your tickets, but don't refund your flight and stuff. Just like, you chill in Vegas for a few days and then get the refund for the tickets. I mean, that's what I would think most people are going to do, but we'll see. Now, the UFC just did announce a new fight card. They added 2 really great fights to this card. 3 fights in total. They replaced 1, but I wanted to go over the fight card and everything. And hopefully my mic doesn't sound too bad, guys. I'm using the mic on my MacBook Pro that's built in, but fancy, I know. Computer's like 2 years old. It's old as balls. Now I actually really do sound like a dick. This computer's 2 years old. But yeah, if the audio sounds bad, I don't know. I'm gonna start using my mic again and making MLB The Show videos. But I just wanted to put something up real quick, see if it would get views. That's why I'm doing this really quickly. But the new UFC 303 card, which I am actually kind of hyped for now. It's honestly a better card. It won't have the Conor McGregor effect, but it is a better card. So we're going to see Alex Pereira taking on Yuri Prochazka in the main event. So this is the rematch of the first fight they had. Now, if you guys remember the first fight, Pereira, I think he had him in a clinch up against the cage, and he was elbowing the shit out of Yuri. He put like 8 or 9 solid elbows into him. Yuri kind of fell. The referee stopped the fight immediately. It looked like Yuri was out, and in the second he hit the ground, he like got up fine. He didn't want to like be like, yeah, it was an early stoppage, but honestly, it was an early stoppage, and I understand why the ref stopped it. It wasn't as bad as what happened in that like St. Louis card last weekend with Cannonier, but I understand it was an understandable stoppage, but it was a bad stoppage. So Yuri's gonna get his rematch. What sucks, dude, is this is a really good fight, and they're only going to get, like, not even 2 weeks to train for it, so it's going to be a mostly weight-cutting thing, so that's what I talk about, too, like, don't, like, be partying all the time and shit, because if you get a last-minute fight, like, you can't be 20% body fat. You don't really want to hit more than, like, 15% body fat if you're, like, a pro athlete, like Chandler and all those dudes stay pretty lean all year, and then you hear some guys, like Aljo and all them, who are like, yeah, I gained 40 pounds, Patty Pimblett in between fights, and it's like, yeah, it's cool as long as you can lose it, man, but if you ever get the opportunity for, like, a last-minute title fight, you're not going to be able to take it because you're not going to be in shape. So those two are fighting. Like I said, it sucks that they're going to have to spend the entire time cutting weight and not training. I like Yuri, and I like Alex. I'd prefer to see Yuri win this one, but I'm going to go with Pereira again in the rematch. The co-main event. Great fight here. We've got number 3 ranked Brian Ortega, which I'm surprised he's still ranked that high. He's had like 1 win in the last couple years, taking on number 14 ranked Diego Lopes. He's the guy with the Brazilian emo mullet, so he has emo hair, if you will, and then a mullet at the end, and he's Brazilian. Pretty good fighter. I really like watching him fight. He's pretty entertaining. He had a great knockout at UFC 300, and the guy's just always fun to watch, so it'll be nice to see it. Lopes is a pretty big dude for that weight class. I think he's going to come in way bigger than Ortega. The guy's actually got a pretty wide back on him, pretty big upper body. I'd prefer to see Lopes win that one. I want to check out what the betting odds are. UFC doesn't have them up yet, but I'd expect Ortega to be heavily favored. I think Ortega's going to take that, although I'd prefer Lopes too. Next fight, Anthony Smith versus Carlos Ulberg. Jamal Hill, they pulled him off of this card and gave it to gave this fight to Anthony Smith instead. Now, Anthony Smith is in a spot where if he wins this late-minute fight, it is 10 versus 11, but he can very well sneak his way into a title shot. There's really nobody else in that division. Like, Yuri was next in line for the belt. Besides that, light heavyweight is pretty thin right now, so Anthony Smith wins this, he could get a title shot. Now, I think Smith has a giant douchey attitude, and it's very arrogant, but I do like his podcast with Bisping, and he seems like an overall good guy. He just has that arrogant way of talking, so I'd like to see Anthony Smith win this one. I'm not too much, I don't really know this Ulberg guy, so I don't even know if he's like a wrestler or if he's a striker, what he is, but I want to see Anthony Smith win that one, so that's who I'll go with. Chick fight, Bueno Silva, she fought on UFC 300. She was the co-main event against Weili Zhang. She doesn't quit, I'll give her that, but that fight was really annoying. Taking on a woman who looks like, if you ever got pulled over, your worst nightmare would probably be like a militant female cop. This bitch has that look to her. She looks like she just ruins police forces wherever she goes. So I'm going to go with Bueno Silva, hopefully, on that one. She is Brazilian, and she's ranked number 3 to Lieutenant Dyke here is ranked number 7. Next up, we've got Ian Machado Gary taking on MVP. So MVP had 1 fight in the UFC so far against Kevin Holland. Frustrated the shit out of Holland, and it went to a decision, but MVP's pretty good. I didn't know he actually fought Mike Perry in bare knuckle. He lost to him, and then he was a pretty big beast in Bellator for a while. So he's ranked number 14, taking on Gary, who is ranked number 7. Now, I know the internet makes fun of Gary, and I find it funny to make fun of him too. However, this simple fact that he took this fight after Colby Covington turned him down. Covington talked all that shit, and I'll give it to Colby. The videos about Gary were funny. Now, he can be funny if it's an edited video, but when he has to like speak off the cusp, the dude fucking mumbles so bad, it's awful. But it ruins that entire fake persona Colby has. But yeah, Gary versus MVP. I want to see MVP win, but I do have to give respect to Gary. He is the up-and-comer, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be heavily favored. Like I said, they don't have the odds up yet, but I'm going to say Gary wins that one. His wife is annoying as shit, though. That bitch can fucking... She just needs to go off with Mcgregor or something. Let this guy keep his career, because she's going to ruin it for him. But yeah, I see Gary winning that fight. I think that'll be a really fun fight. And then Joe Pfeiffer is taking on Marc-Andre Barriault. French-Canadian guy, so I'm going to go with the American Joe Pfeiffer. That dude used to be like, they were going to push him for a while. I don't know what happened. I guess his career just like didn't take off the way they wanted it to, but it has odds for that fight, and Pfeiffer's favored, minus 205. So let's go over my picks again here. Got Alex Pereira beating Yuri in a tightly contested matchup. I think that may go 4 or 5 rounds. I'm going to go with Diego Lopes taking out the heavily favored Brian Ortega. I think Lopes is going to get it done. I've got Anthony Smith beating Alberg. I've got Bueno Silva beating this bitch who looks like she could be on Reno 911. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Chayason. Got MVP over Gary, although I think that one could go either way. And then I got Pfeiffer in this one. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of my picks. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Let me know what I should upload. Should I start doing more UFC career modes, or should I stick with MLB The Show? There's no good games out really right now. I've been grinding MLB The Show, and it's a fun one, but it's just such a pain to make videos on, to where if I play like UFC 5, it's just like super easy because I record live. So we'll figure it out. I'll probably mix a couple things. Maybe some X Defiant. That game's actually pretty fun, although I haven't played shooters in forever and I suck. But I'm gonna put this audio over some like random shooter gameplay anyway. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, like I said, comment what you want to see next of, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Sorry, I'm pretty high right now, so I'm probably mumbling. Sound like I'm Colby Covington, man. Just fucking slipping over my own words and fucking having a gay hairline. No, I don't have a hairline anywhere as bad as Colby's. But alright, what are we saying here? We're just rambling. Alright, I'll see you guys. Peace.
They've taken our flag. We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier. Power items incoming.
Flag returned. Enemy flag returned. Defeat.